Hi everyone, this is Chelle of Chelle's Creations. In this video I want to teach you a shortcut or a hack to being able to add shadows when you're trying to weave items. I have another video about weaving items, but just in case I want to go through that part to begin with. In this video I'm going to be using my Summer's End alpha to put an alpha on this layout. This layout is using my Lay It On There template doubles. This is number 11, which is coming soon. Okay, let me zoom in so that you can see. I've got a string ready to go here. On this string, I'm going to go behind the tip of the 2 right here, and then I'll stay on top right here, and then I'll go behind again with that 0, and then I'm going to tuck the end behind this Y also. And so remember that when you're going to weave it, you need to add a layer mask to it, and the way you add a layer mask is right down here on the bottom of your layers palette. It's a square with a circle in the middle. The square is usually white looking and the circle in the middle is usually black looking, so we'll go ahead and click on that. And then one thing you need to know about when you're working with layer masks is that when you work with the layer, these little white lines will be right around the corners of the layer. When you're working with a layer mask, you'll have lines on those. Another thing to remember is that black hides things, white makes things show up. So I'm going to get a brush, and I think first I'm going to start with a hard round brush just so that I can show you with a harder brush. If I go ahead and paint black right here, it'll make it disappear. See, black hides it. Now it's not gone because I could go back in again with white and paint it back in, but I need it to match up exactly right there and not just be kind of sort of close. So let's undo this back again to normal. Okay, so in order to make it be exact, I need to click on, holding down my Command or Control key, I need to click on the thumbnail of the 2. And when you click on that, it'll select and give you marching ants right around the 2. Now make sure the layer that's selected is your string layer and that you have your layer mask highlighted. Now when you go in and paint, oh, I'm painting with white. You need to paint with black as your foreground color. It will disappear. There you go. Now I'm going to deselect. The easiest way to do that is Command or Control D to deselect. I need to do the same thing with the 0. So let's go to the 0 where the thumbnail is in the layers palette. Hold down the Command key and click on it. There's your marching ants. And double check to make sure it's your string layer and that your layer mask is selected. Then you can just go in and paint over top of that. Now remember, if I painted somewhere I didn't mean to, I can undo that by painting with white. If black and white are what's selected over here on your foreground and background color, you can swap them back and forth using this cute little arrow, or you can just go ahead and X. X alternates them back and forth. Let's turn it to white and paint that part back in again. Okay, the last one I need to tuck this Y behind. So let's scroll down to my Y, hit Command and click on that one. And then let's go back up here where I can see my string, make sure it's selected, and I'm going to paint white's not going to help. X, paint with black right there. Okay, now it's all tucked in, and now comes we're going to deselect, Command or Control D. Now comes the part where you need a shadow. The problem here is where that string goes behind, and especially right here, there should be a shadow on that string. And while it's possible for you to put the shadow from the 2 on its own layer and clip it up here, there's just a shortcut that you can try. To do that, I would go ahead and add a new layer right here using my new layer icon at the bottom of the layers palette. Then make sure that you have a black or whatever color it is you like to shadow with, but I'm going to use pure black here for the purposes of this. Then you need a soft round brush, and soft means fuzzy edges, so choose one of these that's more soft. And if it's not big enough, go ahead and use your bracket keys to make it bigger. Okay, and now we're just going to paint a dot right there so that the fuzzy edge kind of hangs over. And this may take some practice to figure out where you want it. In order to make sure that it's where I want it, I need to clip it to it so that we'll know. So let's hold down your Alt key and put your cursor right over the gap in between the layer that we just put a black dot on and your string layer. Or if you're working in elements, you can just go ahead and hit Command or Control G. That will add your shadow right there. Find it, you might want to hit it again one more time and make it a little bit darker. And I'm going to put one a little bit on that edge, and then one right up here by the O, and one right here on this edge, and then maybe even one right here on the Y. Now you can play with that layer. If you want the shadow blending mode to be different, you can go ahead and change it to linear burn or whatever your favorite shadow style is, and then lower the opacity until it has the right amount of shadow on it for what you're looking for. That's the quickest and easiest way to quickly add a shadow that makes it look like it's woven without having to mess with shadows on their own layers. Okay, if you have any questions, you can reach me at shells.creations1@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.